From a freak tornado on a beach in China that had vacationers running in every direction, and a $300,000 house in the Outer Banks that got washed out to sea during a storm, to massive waves crashing onto a beach in Hawaii thanks to warming Pacific waters, and a tornado on an Italian beach that seemingly came out of nowhere. Here are 10 terrifying beach moments caught on camera. Turkey was in peril after a powerful earthquake occurred on October 30th of 2020. The 7.0 magnitude tremor struck between Turkey and Greece, deep in the Aegean Sea. Even though its epicenter was near the Greek island of Samos, the Turkish city of Izmir absorbed most of the damage. Earthquakes don't exist in a vacuum. They can trigger other natural disasters like volcanic eruptions, landslides, and tsunamis. 2 Turkish men learned that lesson the hard way after the October earthquake struck. Their casual day at the beach turned into a narrow escape.
Evet bakın oraya tsunami geldi kuzen yürü. Geldi hadi gel. Tsunami arkadaşlar çabuk Tufan. Çabuk. Aha geldi hadi hemen. Dur.
Would they have been okay? Probably. But why risk getting their entire car dragged out to sea? The waves didn't seem too menacing at first, but then one of them noticed a big boy rushing toward the shore. Maybe next time they'll avoid the beach during a tsunami warning. The Izmir earthquake was so powerful that people 200 miles away in Istanbul felt the ground shake. According to the New York Times, most of the damage centered around Izmir, which relies heavily on its tourism industry. Luckily, those in this video were able to walk away unharmed. Yangjiang is a prefecture-level city in Guangdong Province, China. As the weather gets warmer, tourists flock to the city, specifically Hailing Island, for its beautiful beaches and fresh-caught seafood. But not all vacations end with full bellies and nice tans. On May 3rd of 2021, a random waterspout formed in the South China Sea and made its way toward the beach. Depending on where you were, the event was either a cool scene in the distance or a terrifying experience happening right before your eyes. Look at how the waterspout, now a beach tornado, rips apart all the loose objects on the beach. Thankfully, it's not powerful enough to lift people off their feet. Security personnel rushed in to clear the beach, but it was impossible to wrangle all those tourists. Many stood their ground to take pictures and videos. Now, tornadoes aren't common in China, but they still happen. Most provinces have experienced at least one twister, with eastern and southern China getting most of them. According to China's Meteorological Administration, the entire country sees about 43 tornadoes every year. By comparison, the United States gets about 800. Long before Russia invaded Ukraine, tourists used to flock to the Odessa region along the Black Sea coast. They would bathe in the sun, enjoy the luxury resorts, and sink their feet into the warm, white sand. But that all changed when the war broke out. Today, the beach is littered with buried mines to prevent a Russian amphibious invasion. At the same time, the Russians have their own mines floating out in the ocean. Sometimes, those mines break free from their chains and float to shore. You've probably seen some strange things wash ashore, but you've never seen a naval mine. The worst part? It's still active. A group of Ukrainian soldiers approach the mine and begin the defusing process. They meticulously examine every nook and cranny of the device. Finally, they remove what looks like the main charge connected to a bunch of wires. Now all they have left to do is dig a hole and blow it up themselves. Naval mines date back to 14th century China. The US began using them during the Revolutionary War. They were just watertight kegs filled with gunpowder. Modern mines are filled with high explosives that detonate on impact. Navies will use them offensively to trap enemy ships in a harbor or defensively to protect their assets. Let's just hope they stop ruining a nice day at the beach. Rodanthe is a tiny community along the Outer Banks of North Carolina. It's home to just over 200 people, but will see a flock of seasonal tourism during the spring and summer. As you can imagine, beachfront property values are pretty high in the Outer Banks. If you get something, make sure you have the best insurance money can buy. In May of 2022, a prolonged storm system battered the Outer Banks for several days. Strong winds and large waves battered the beachfront homes. Sadly, the owners of this Rodanthe property had to watch the stilts collapse and their home float away. That is a $381,000 home floating out into the sea. The heavy tide had weakened the supports and eroded the sand beneath the stilts. All it took was a powerful gust of wind to blow the entire thing over. This was one of 3 houses to collapse along the Cape Hatteras National Seashore in 2022. One came down in February, and another fell shortly after this one. Cape Hatteras is protected land, so the Park Service quickly coordinated with the owners to clean the debris before it impacted the coast. Tombos Beach is a popular spot in Sao Paulo, Brazil. According to reviews, it's a hotbed for local surfers. They just have to be careful of the strong current. On February 27th of 2020, beachgoers and surfers alike had more than strong currents to worry about. They looked at the sky and saw a small aircraft in the middle of an emergency landing.
Caraca, o avião tá passando baixinho. Uau, o avião caiu, meu.
Caindo ali, ó. Surfista também no caminho.
É aviãozinho, hein?
Everyone thought the same thing. Somebody should help that guy. That's when several brave surfers ran toward the water as the plane slowly sank.
Bem, meu. Olha lá o surfista, a comunidade indo ajudar o piloto lá, meu. O avião caiu do nada ali.
Thankfully, the pilot made it out before the plane sank. Soon, jet skis come to bring the pilot to shore. We're not sure why they had to make an emergency landing, but if we had to guess, it was probably something engine-related. Apulia is the heel of Italy. They have more coastline than any other Italian region, with the Adriatic Sea to the east and the Ionian Sea to the south. That also means they have the most beaches, we assume. On August 25th of 2020, beachgoers at Maldive del Salento were enjoying a sunny day in the turquoise water. Then, something shocking appeared in the distance. The sky went dark. Lightning struck the water, and a freak tornado descended on the beach. People didn't know whether to film or panic, so they did a little bit of both. According to our cameraman, an announcement to clear the beach came over the loudspeaker. They were initially concerned about lightning, but then the tornado appeared out of nowhere. Many huddled for safety inside a beach bar while the others ran to their cars. Our cameraman escaped with his family once he stopped filming. He remembers 2 ambulances passing him as they left the beach. All of Europe sees between 300 and 400 tornadoes per year. Waterspouts are more common, with nearly 600 events along European coastlines. However, of the top 10 worst tornadoes in European history, 5 of them occurred in Italy. The 2014 to 2016 El Niño event refers to a 2-year period of abnormally warm water in the Pacific Ocean. Everything between South America and the international dateline was warmer than it should have been, leading to many harmful events. Venezuela and Australia experienced droughts, and several Pacific islands were inundated with floods. There were also more tropical cyclones in the Pacific than we're used to. Those storms sent massive waves toward Hawaii, which some locals took full advantage of. Hawaiians watched these waves crash over the shallow rocks at a beach on Kauai Island. The kids got a kick out of it, while their parents recorded the fun. An El Niño event is a naturally occurring phenomenon in the ENSO cycle. According to the NOAA, the cycle refers to the year-to-year variations in sea surface temperatures across the equatorial Pacific Ocean. An El Niño event means things get warmer. La Niña means things get cooler. As of April of 2023, we're in a La Niña period. However, there is speculation that an El Niño period could take over by the fall. Fort Erie is a small Canadian town just over the U.S. border. They're on the other side of the Niagara River, across from Buffalo, New York. Fort Erie also shares a border with, you guessed it, Lake Erie, its namesake. On February 24th of 2019, a local named George Kuranis was filming along the retaining wall when massive chunks of ice began pouring over. These ice sheets will form on the Niagara River when it gets cold enough. When the wind picks up, it causes what's known as an ice shove. George learned firsthand how dangerous ice shoves can be.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. Whoa. Okay, that happened really, really fast. Wow. Yeah. Got another one coming now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Wow. Get ready to back up. Steve, watch out. Watch out.
Look at how fast the current is moving. You can see why those giant ice chunks flew over the retaining wall. Next, we see huge mounds of ice and snow. It looks like a team of snowplows just cleared a parking lot. In reality, all that ice came off the Niagara River. The Niagara Falls area experienced hurricane-force winds over 48 hours. Thousands of people lost power, businesses had to close, and schools couldn't hold classes. All that wind forced the top layer of ice up and over the barrier walls. In some places, it piled as high as 30 feet. Lauderdale by the Sea is a small town in Broward County, Florida. They're about 33 miles north of Miami and home to just over 6,000 people. Most people call it LBTS for short. Like the rest of South Florida, LBTS is known for its relaxing beaches, warm water, and white sand. But on October 22nd of 2022, a casual fall day at the beach was ruined when a waterspout moved onto the sand. Jen Smith was minding her own business when she saw the waterspout form in the distance.
It's incredible. Start packing up, though. Whoa, look at its fin. I know, they better take him. Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! They better take these down.
While it wasn't strong enough to hurt anyone directly, the wind did pick up loose objects and hurl them through the air. Thankfully, nobody got hit when that beach umbrella finally landed. Waterspouts are tornadoes that form over the water. When they move onto land, they become tornadoes. It's extremely rare for a waterspout to be as strong as a violent Midwestern storm, but you should still do your best to avoid them. The wind can still damage your boat or throw an umbrella at you. In early March of 2022, a man in Newport Beach, California decided it was a great day to steal a boat. But not just any boat, a 60-foot yacht from the Balboa Bay Resort. Since it was being serviced, he knew the keys would still be inside. He waited for the workers to leave and leapt from the dock to the deck. But he didn't make it very far. While going for a joyride in the harbor, Joel overestimated his speed. Several witnesses were standing on the docks when Joel steered the boat right toward them. One captured the moment when Grand Theft Boat turned into 8 counts of vandalism.
I fucking got it!
He's gonna crash into that. He's gonna crash into that.
Dorado smoked!
Oh my God.
Are his thrusters off?
He's gonna hit
No,
this.
he's coming again! He's coming in! He's coming in, watch out! Get out, get off!
While Joel apparently got away, he didn't make it very far. His demolition derby ended when he smashed into one more boat and hit the seawall. If you're gonna steal a yacht, you better know how to drive it. As the story goes, someone caught Joel trying to steal a Rolls-Royce. He took off when he heard the approaching sirens, and then he ran into the marina and spotted the boat. If you enjoyed this video and want to see another just like it, then be sure to click the link on screen now. With that, thanks for watching and be sure to tune in next time.